Hello, one of a beautiful process of the one of a beautiful Maverick Nation. And it is I, the one, the only, the Dark Shadow Maverick, here to bring you part 2 of What If Izuku Rem and Ram, I believe, were married. Part 2 of that. Basically, what if Izuku was married to Rin and Ran? Part 2. Basically, in the last part, all sorts of shit went down. And even Enko got to rekindle some of that love by, getting into some goods with Aizawa. We knew that Aizawa was a sucker for the ladies. Anyways, basically, the only child out of the two children that they have still left right now, because the other one, Mizu, they basically were lied to and told that Mizu was going to die soon anyways. So basically, Izuku would pull a Moses, and Mizu would end up at an orphanage where he would grow a lot of hate and resentment for his own actual, you know, last name, like family name, Midoriya, because he was Mizu Midoriya. So, one of the children of Rim Rim and Izuku is on the path to become a hero, and the other, you know, his first child doesn't even know that the other is actually alive. However, pretty sure that once they do, because I'm pretty sure they're gonna figure out sooner or later that the other child is actually alive, they're I'm pretty sure they're gonna basically, you know, try to persuade Mizu over to the side of good. However, it all depends on if fate decides to smile upon Mizu, or if fate decides to frown upon Mizu. Because a smile and a frown, whenever considering someone's fate, can all, change all sorts of things. Especially considering today is the day of the entrance exam, the UA entrance exam for Kaze and several others. Now, both Mizu and Kaze have two different quirks. Their second quirks are both one for all, and that allows them to go into temporary full cowl, even. The difference is that Kaze has sort of like, in reference to, you know, his mother's wind magic, like a wind manipulation quirk. And as for, Mizu, basically, the first quirk is in reference to her water magic, a water manipulation quirk. Basically, that's gonna be that. So, basically, the first part of the entrance exam really wouldn't be any different. It would still be a written thing. And Kaze indeed would pass the written portion, and then they would go into the robot portion, where Kaze chaining up a lot of that wind power, well, basically chaining it up a lot, and, well, just using the divine protection to link up with several students who look like they might need some help. So yes, indeed, Kaze will gain some, you know, hero points from using divine protection to help other students. By linking up with them. And so, yeah. Basically, Kaze crushes the entire exam, and, well, basically, the next day being the first day, seeing as All Might is no longer the number one hero symbol of peace, he has just decided to take up a job as, like, a teacher. And apparently he is just the teacher of 1A now. He basically is Izal's replacement. So, yeah. Basically, Kaze would be like, wow, All Might. My dad, like, really used to look up to you. And Will All Might would just be like, your father is. And Kaze would just be like, oh yeah, I probably should be more specific. My dad, he's basically, Kaze would just show off his wind, and automatically All Might would be like, oh yes, Kaze Midoriya. Yes, your father did indeed look up to me as his favorite hero. However, now, I am your homeroom teacher, so get to class. Just like, All Might would just be like, yeah, get to freaking class. And will, just like in canon, for like their parents and everything, it would be a quirk assessment test. However, there would be this one kid who would sit kind of like uncannily close to Kaze. Well, the kid was indeed a boy. the funny thing is, he would have a girl's name. The kid would be Raven. Yes, that's right. A boy with the name Raven, who apparently has a very strong telepathy quirk. And basically, Kaze would be like, wait, telepathy? Oh! Wait, are you like... I can't believe it. Grandma Inko had a kid, and it was with that frickin' Eraserhead guy? And, well, Raven would just be like, loser. And, Kaze would just be like, who are you calling a loser? And Raven would just be like, who do you think? And Kaze would just be like, I would just be like, you be breaking up the tension. Tension, huh? And so, yeah. Basically, seeing as Kaze plays first out of all the people with the points, the only person who got anywhere near close to him being the person who plays second, and that person just so happened to be Raven. Raven would be like, I don't know how I placed second next to that loser. Basically, it would just be like, can't believe I actually placed second to that loser. And Kaze would just be like, shut up. And, yeah. Kaze would just be like, I'm gonna throw it with or without my quirk. And Alma would be like, well, whatever provides better results. After all, we're trying to train you to be heroes. So All Might's just like, yeah, we need results if we're gonna have you guys be heroes. And so Kaze would be like, what would provide the best result? I guess if I used, my wind manipulation, like, infused with full cowling version of One For All, like, whatever amount of full cowling I can, like, freaking use at the moment. And basically, that's what Kaze would do. Just put all that pressure up against the ball, and then release all that energy. Blast the ball. And basically, it would just be like 9,001 freaking meters. If you don't get the reference, then shame on you. So, yeah. Basically, whenever it's Raven's turn, basically, it's just the telepathy quirk. Bounces it a couple times, like does a couple dribbles, and then just like freaking back kicks the damn thing. Because, trying to be suave and swag over here. Swagalicious. Like freaking Swagginson up in his house. And just sends the thing and is just like, well. And then it just knocks into Kaze's ball, basically adding the score up to infinity and giving Raven's score the 9,001. And Raven is just like, what? How did... But... And Alma would just be, congratulations, you actually made another one of your classmates score higher. I can see that you're trying to help, but this is indeed, you know, we all need to do our work on our own, or we are to be great heroes. And, well, Raven's just like, ugh, don't remind me. Stupid. Ugh. I place behind him is just second rate. Trash. And, just Kaze would just be like, geez, what's that guy's problem? I'll tell you what that guy's problem is. His damn attitude. That's his problem. And, well, just that alone would be some crazy shiz. However, indeed, All Might would be like, hold on 1 second. And then just like, pew pew. And he would just race back. And he would be in his retro, like, Silver Age costume. He'd be like, the clothes make the pros. And Kaze would be like, cool, now I get to show off my hero costume. And Raven would be like, with freaking yippee, I get to show off my freaking hero costume. Basically, what Raven's hero costume is basically him looking even more like his father. Like, before you could just make an educated guess, but whenever he's wearing his actual hero costume, there's no, like, educated guessing. It's, like, absolutely, like, he looks 100% like, but without, like, the, age thing. And so it's kind of like a tiny Aizawa. And so, yeah, that's basically what everyone's saying about Raven behind his back. Because no one's, tough enough to actually say it to his face. Because of his ridiculously powerful telekinesis quirk. And, well, the only one who's not afraid of Raven is, like, freaking Kaze. Just like coming out and being like, hell yeah. Basically, coming out here looking all spiffy as hell. Like spiffy AF. Basically, if you guys know, like, what Rem and Ram wear, like the black and white maid outfits, it would basically be Deku's hero costume, like Izuku's hero costume, but in the, like, maid outfit colors, like a black and white version. That's what Kaze's hero outfit will be. And, well, basically, yeah, one of them would be a complete and total copy of their father, and the other one would be, like, a copy of both sides. Like, fused into one. Well, not really both sides, like, 3 different sides. Like, damn. Threesome marriages. And so, indeed, well, after all of everything, they would just go to the mock battles, and, well, whoever Kaze's partner would be, and whoever Raven's partner would be, they're pretty much irrelevant to this story right now. Basically, the only thing that really would matter right now is that, well, Kaze versus Raven. Freaking wind manipulation versus telekinesis. Now, with one thing that Kaze does have over Raven, even though Raven has like his own little capture scarf, one thing that Kaze does have over Raven, he's a kind of more like street smarts, you know. Basically, the experience, the power, you know. Raven's always being broody like Sasuke, like, you know, brooding around, like being brooding. Whenever not being brooding like training, but, you know, just the kind of training that Kaze does is kind of like a mixed training, so Kaze is very unpredictable. Like, unpredictable. You can't really. It's kind of like Taskmaster. You can't really predict the kind of shit that's gonna, you know, happen whenever, like, Kaze gets on, you know, a roll. So basically, Kaze is basically like telling himself, gotta focus and gotta get this man in his sights. Because once he's in his sights, he will release basically just all sorts of shit upon this poor sap. Because while Raven may have all this, like, expertise from, like, his father's side or whatever, like being a hero and all that, there's a little bit of a thing. The unpredictability, plus the fact that Izuku is like the #1 hero, and just also the fact that added in wind magic. So all of that on top of everything else basically just gives this chance to, like, overwhelm Raven, and eventually whenever Raven becomes overwhelmed, that's the moment whenever Kaze will have him in his sights. And the moment that happens, basically, it will be, you know, it would just be done for, you know, the dragon sign. And he would just be like, like, send out like an attack, like a dragon sign. You know, he would just hit him with that dragon sign, and all of a sudden, you know, like, Raven would just fall to the floor, like, as soon as he got hit with that dragon sign. Yeah. Just took him out with one move, with the power of the dragon. So, yeah. Safe to say that you don't want to get caught in the sights of Kaze Midoriya. Because that dragon little stance of his, you don't want to get hit by any attack that has to do with, like, deal with, like, the dragon. And, well, it's just a lot of stances of, like, martial arts and, like, you know, styles of different martial arts that have to deal with dragon, and, like, mixed in with, like, the Midoriya. like a Midoriya bloodline of their own and like the Oni bloodline, like this dragon style, dragon stance. It's like one attack from like the dragon stance, and you're like all of a sudden just like bam, like just down and out, just gone. And well, there's just this, you know, light cyan blue dragon that's kind of flying around Kaze, and it's kind of tiny, and it's wondering, like, why have you summoned me? You know, basically, like, you know, basically, like, Kaze-san, like, Kaze-sama, why have you summoned me? And basically, Kaze is just like, you know, I guess I still have to work on my control with, you know, the dragon stance. And basically, it's just like this dragon, this like tiny, like light cyan blue dragon that's like flying around their like sun. And basically, Izuku's just like, sorry, Ori. We didn't mean to disturb you. And this dragon, well, their name would suddenly be known as Ori, would just be like, that's okay. And it's just, that would be that. And seeing as regarding, basically, I think this is going to be a short video because I just covered the first day and the mock battles, along with some extra flavor text stuff like, this dragon power that apparently Kaze can use, and apparently he accidentally used it to summon a dragon known as Ori, and Ori's just a tiny, light cyan blue colored dragon. And she's just really nice and kind of shy, but not too shy. And just really nice. And, Izuku would just be like, oh, you better at least be glad that it wasn't Orokuro. And, like, Rem and Ram both kind of shudder at even the mention of the name Orokuro. And, Izuku would be like, oh yeah, shit. Like, basically that's something that, like, this dragon style was something that, Izuku wanting to keep on improving himself, he would try a bunch of different, like, mixed martial arts, like MMA style, like, shit. And, he would make up his own martial art, like the martial art of the dragon, like the dragon stance / dragon style. And basically activating this power, you can use it to summon actual dragons, which Izuku did not. Basically, Izuku was not prepared for. Basically, any style that's based off an animal, if you, like, activate that, like, style or stance, you might accidentally be able to summon that type of animal. And so, seeing as it was like the dragon stance or the dragon style, whatever. He accidentally, one of his first summons, seeing as he wasn't exactly the best whenever, he first started summoning these guys, one of his first ever summons was a certain emerald green dragon known as Orokoro. And dude was not a very happy guy. Well, technically he was in the middle of a very deep nap whenever he was summoned, but still. I mean, he reacted pretty violently to being summoned. Let's just leave it to that. Orokoro did not like being summoned, because usually whenever he was being summoned, it was during nap time for him. Which, well, the humans that summon, like, the freaking dragons, they can't really tell whenever they're napping or awake or not, so how are they supposed to be able to know? So, like, can't really fault them, so... But Orokoro does not really seem to care about any of that shit, and just does it anyways. He's just a dick. So, Izuku's just like, nice be glad that you didn't summon Orokoro. And, well, you summoned Ori instead. And basically, who's Ori? Besides, like, the description I've already given, like, the color, and, like, the fact that, unlike Orokoro, who is actually, like, about the size of a grown man, like, 2 grown men, possibly 3, if he wanted to be. Like, yes, he can indeed grow and shrink in size. From the size of 2 grown men to, like, the size of 3 grown men. That's kind of like the... And, maybe if he's, like, pushing it, like, 4 or 5 grown men extra, yeah, like, that's kind of Orokoro's limit. And, well, as for Ori, well, she's just, one of, like, the more or less moderator dragons. Like, the ones that, work to keep peace for, like, all of the other dragons. And she's actually a lot older than what you would be led to believe, but even in, like, her actual age, is still young for a dragon. Like, Orokoro is, like, still, like, a lot older than Ori, and Ori is, old in terms of human years. Like, she would be, like, dust in terms of, like, human years, and, like, there would be nothing left if we're talking Orokoro's age. And, well, like, basically Ori's, like, in the 3 to 5,000, and, like, in terms of years of age. And for Orokoro, he's, like, in the 8 to 9,000, like, years of age. Yeah, now you're getting... Now you guys should be getting why I said that. Even for, like, Ori's age, she was, like, still considered to be, not that old, because of the fact that Orokoro is actually, a good deal older than her. And even then, that's still not all that old, considering how long dragons can actually live. Well, at least how long I am going to say dragons can actually live in this little AU of mine. So, yeah. Even like 8,000, 9,000 turn, like, years isn't really that old for dragons. Yet still, Orokoro does have that temper of his. And Ori, like said, is indeed, like, does have that job of, like, being kind of like a dragon moderator. Like to make sure nobody's, like, causing a ruckus. And if anybody is causing a ruckus, you know, basically tell them to, like, stop it. Stop it. Bad dragons. Bad dragons. Basically, Ori's, like, one of the dragons who's, like, constantly telling everybody off, like, you know, you need to stop this. You're not acting right. You need to, you know, chill. What I mean whenever I say dragon moderator, like, basically, kind of like, you know, you're Mr. Rogers of the dragons. Only in, like, the terms of Ori, seeing as Ori is female, it would be like a Mrs. Rogers. You know how Mr. Rogers was always so damn freaking, like, just this pure freaking hearted human being? And that's kind of how Ori is. Though she does have her own little temper, and she doesn't like being, you know, like, tossed around, like, you know, like she's weak. Because really, Ori isn't all that weak. I mean, like, appearances can be deceiving, my friends. Appearances can be very deceiving. In fact, there have actually been several times where Ori's been able to, like, smack some sense into Orokoro. Even though Orokoro really wouldn't not like to admit it, that is indeed the case. That's actually happened several times. Because of his damn temper. And so, yeah. Basically, just got rid of the whole quirk assessment thing. Got rid of the whole mock battles thing. And, well, now we know dragon power. So, yeah. Basically, I'm just gonna go ahead and say, Alan Zero Dallas Production, America's OUT out of here. Basically, Alan Zero Dallas is because I am the Action American. I am OUT out of here. Yeah, boys. Like, favorite, subscribe, something in the comment section. I'm a bounce.